Candace Owens has ignited a wildfire of debate across social media by calling out Hollywood's golden illusion, using Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's shocking divorce as her latest example of what she calls the Hollywood contract marriage. To Candace, their 19-year union, once idolized as the epitome of love and longevity, was never about romance. It was business, image, and illusion wrapped in red carpet smiles and Instagram-perfect tributes. She points to the eerie precision of their split. Nicole gaining custody of their daughters for 306 days a year, Keith only 59, no alimony, no child support, and a lump sum payment that finalized their clean break. No public drama, no emotional unraveling, no messy custody battle, just signatures and silence. In her eyes, that's not heartbreak, that's closure. For years, the couple was held up as proof that real love could survive fame. They met in 2005, Nicole, still recovering from her turbulent marriage to Tom Cruise, and Keith, the charismatic country star with a tender soul and a past peppered with struggles. When they married in a candlelit ceremony in Sydney a year later, fans and media crowned them the real deal. Their love story seemed almost cinematic, two stars from different worlds drawn together by fate. Every anniversary post, every red carpet glance, every tearful thank you and acceptance speeches reinforced their image as the embodiment of stability and affection in an industry known for fleeting passion. Keith once said, "Nicole saved me," and Nicole often called him her rock. To fans, they weren't just a couple. They were hope that true love could exist under the blinding lights of fame. Yet, according to Candace Owens, this was all part of the performance, the most polished, profitable illusion in show business. Over time, cracks began to form behind the perfection. Their declarations of devotion became more scripted, their smiles more mechanical, and the warmth between them seemed to fade into routine. While the world saw two people in love, Candace argues that what was really happening was the quiet management of a public brand. By the time September 30th, 2025 arrived, when Nicole officially filed for divorce, the love story had long been over. The papers told a story of efficiency and planning, not heartbreak. Fans were stunned by how clinical it all seemed. 19 years of marriage ended with the simplicity of a business deal. There was no emotional statement, no social media farewell, no plea for privacy, just complete silence. Nicole resumed filming her next project. Keith returned to touring. The couple that once appeared inseparable suddenly became strangers overnight. And for Candace Owens, that silence spoke louder than any emotional statement ever could. She took to her platform, looked straight into the camera and declared, "They're all pretending. Nicole, Keith, it's not love, it's a contract." The comment ricocheted through social media like an explosion, igniting debates among fans, journalists, and industry insiders. Many dismissed it as another of Candace's provocations, but others began connecting dots they hadn't noticed before. Why did the couple's anniversary posts often coincide with movie releases or album tours? Why were their finances always separate, despite 2 decades of marriage? Why did the divorce unfold with such eerie precision, almost like an event long scheduled? Candace claimed it wasn't a coincidence. It was the Hollywood system functioning exactly as designed. In her view, celebrity marriages aren't personal unions, but business partnerships crafted to enhance brands, expand fan bases, and generate publicity. She pointed out how public relationships serve as marketing campaigns, engagements just before a film premiere, leaked romantic vacations ahead of album drops, red carpet kisses designed to feed tabloids and trend on social media. When a couple like Nicole and Keith finally separates without chaos, she said, "That's because the contract has simply reached its expiration date." According to Candace, their timeline proves it. The public saw a glowing anniversary tribute in June 2025, complete with loving words and nostalgic photos. But behind the scenes, The custody papers had already been signed. By August, financial details were finalized, and by September, the divorce was filed. Smoothly, silently, systematically. It wasn't the crumbling of love, she argued. It was the execution of a pre-written plan. To her, every step, from their first appearance as a couple to the calm dissolution of their marriage, followed a carefully constructed Hollywood playbook. Even the contrast between their public image and private reality seems almost theatrical. On one side, glossy photos and heartfelt captions. On the other, cold legal documents and signatures inked weeks before the world knew the truth. Owens called it the perfect Hollywood trick. A love story played out for the cameras, while the real story, the business side, quietly unfolds behind closed doors. The more she dissected it, the more her theory seemed to mirror other high-profile Hollywood relationships that ended in equally neat and amicable ways. Candace even revisited Nicole's past relationships to show what she called a repeating pattern of image-driven partnerships. The high control, high visibility years with Tom Cruise from 1990 to 2001, colored by Scientology and media obsession, the rumored brief spark with Jim Carrey, which fizzled before it could become a headline romance. And then the long, polished run with Keith Urban that lasted nearly 2 decades but ended like clockwork. In Candace's words, look at the pattern. This isn't love, it's casting. Each relationship, she claimed, served a narrative purpose in Nicole's evolving public story. Tom Cruise representing power and global stardom, Jim Carrey symbolizing spontaneity and artistic chemistry, and Keith Urban embodying stability and redemption. Each relationship reflected not only emotional choices, but also career phases. Each union, Owens argued, wasn't spontaneous, it was strategic. According to her, Hollywood doesn't leave something as unpredictable as love to chance. It scripts it. In her breakdown, even the smallest details, how long they appeared together, how they managed their image during career highs and lows, how they exited relationships without major scandal, were all part of an intricate system of mutual benefit. The idea may sound cynical, but Candace's evidence touched on a truth many insiders whisper about. Celebrity marriages are as much about management as emotion. Behind every red carpet appearance, she said, are contracts outlining image guidelines, financial boundaries, and publicity strategies. Anniversary posts are not merely affection, but PR maintenance. Even divorce statements are written to minimize brand damage. Nicole and Keith's story, Owens insisted, is a masterclass in this system. 19 years of flawless narrative control, culminating in the cleanest breakup Hollywood has ever seen. To Candace, their relationship was a franchise. Profitable, coordinated, and now concluded. Yet the public fascination with their love was real. For years, fans believed in them not because of contracts, but because of the emotions they projected so convincingly. Their chemistry on red carpets, their joint appearances, their declarations of devotion, it all felt authentic. But that's precisely why the illusion worked. Candace's commentary forces people to confront a darker truth. In an industry that monetizes emotion, even authenticity becomes performance. She argues that Hollywood has perfected the art of blending reality and fiction until they're indistinguishable. The audience wants to believe, she said, and Hollywood gives them exactly what they want. In her view, Nicole and Keith weren't deceiving anyone maliciously. They were simply playing their roles in an industry built on performance. But what makes their story chilling isn't the divorce itself. It's how flawlessly it unfolded. There was no chaos, no pain visible, no emotional residue. Just 2 professionals walking away like actors, taking their final bow after the closing scene. Candace believes that's the giveaway. The too clean ending is not the sign of love lost, but of a contract fulfilled. Her argument also extends beyond Nicole and Keith, painting a broader picture of Hollywood's systemic manipulation of romance. She describes a Hollywood marriage playbook, where executives, agents, And PR strategists pair celebrities with compatible brands, actors with musicians, influencers with athletes, to merge audiences and amplify visibility. From prenups to joint appearances, everything is coordinated. Each red carpet kiss fuels media coverage, each social media post sustains fan engagement, and each carefully timed photo leak drives marketing narratives. When the chemistry fades, or the partnership no longer serves its purpose, the separation is handled like a rebranding exercise, quiet, courteous, and devoid of conflict. To Candace, it's the most profitable illusion of all. Love as marketing. Her claims might sound exaggerated, but the eerie symmetry in Nicole and Keith's timeline lends her theory an unsettling credibility. June's glowing anniversary post, August's finalized legal terms, September's silent filing. It's almost cinematic in precision. The timing reads less like a coincidence and more like a script executed to perfection. Even their decision to avoid joint statements or public appearances after the split fits the formula. Maintain dignity, minimize scrutiny, and protect both brands. Owens asserts that this level of control requires planning far beyond normal marital decisions. It requires management. And that's where the illusion becomes industry practice. For Hollywood, she says, image is capital, and love stories are its most powerful marketing tools. The public's emotional investment translates to financial gain. More engagement, more followers, more media coverage, and ultimately, more money. Every post, every kiss, every glance becomes content. Nicole and Keith's romance sold sincerity. Their separation, even in its silence, sold intrigue. Both fueled the machine. That's the tragic genius of the system Candace exposes. Her analysis even dives into the psychology of celebrity affection, noting how body language experts have long analyzed Nicole and Keith's interactions, pointing out subtle cues of emotional distance masked by performative affection. Some experts saw genuine care beneath the choreography, suggesting the truth might sit somewhere between Candace's cynicism and the public's belief. A mix of real love, real pressure, and real performance. Because maybe it wasn't entirely fake. Maybe at some point, love did exist between them. But in Hollywood, love must coexist with image. Over time, the pressure to perform that image might have overwhelmed the authenticity beneath it. The result isn't deception, but transformation. Real intimacy becoming staged affection. Real emotion becoming brand maintenance. Candace's harsh assessment simplifies what could be a more nuanced reality, that in Hollywood, love and strategy are not mutually exclusive. Yet her critique hits home because it exposes the uncomfortable truth that fans are often complicit in the illusion. People want to believe in the fairy tale. They need it. It's the same reason tabloids flourish, why social media engagement spikes during celebrity weddings, and why divorces like this one become cultural events. We don't just watch these stories, we invest in them. Nicole and Keith's romance was a story fans lived alongside them for nearly 2 decades, projecting their hopes for stability, redemption, and enduring love. When that story ended, fans felt betrayed not just by the breakup, but by the realization that maybe the love they believed in had been curated all along. Candace Owens' statement, "They're all pretending," isn't just an accusation. It's an indictment of an entire cultural ecosystem that feeds on the illusion of perfect love. It forces a chilling question. In Hollywood, is anything ever real? The answer might be somewhere between performance and reality. A gray zone where emotions are genuine but framed for consumption, where love exists but is managed like a brand. Nicole and Keith's story, from its romantic beginning to its silent end, captures that paradox perfectly. A love that might have been real, but lived and died under the stage lights. As the final scenes of their shared narrative fade, fans are left rewatching the highlights, the red carpets, the songs, the smiles, wondering how much of it was truth and how much was performance. Candace Owens' theory may be ruthless, but it leaves a haunting echo. In an industry where image is everything, maybe even love is just another script. And perhaps the most genuine emotion Hollywood ever shows us is the performance itself. The smile that hides exhaustion, the hand that holds a co-star for the cameras, the anniversary post written for millions but meant for none. Nicole and Keith's marriage may have ended quietly, but its story will linger as the perfect metaphor for the blurred line between love and illusion in the city of stars. Because if Candace Owens is right, then Hollywood's greatest love stories were never love stories at all. They were productions. 19 years, 2 daughters, countless photographs, and one silent divorce later. What remains isn't just the end of a marriage, but the final proof that in Hollywood, the most convincing thing you can sell is belief itself. And as the world keeps scrolling through their old photos, double-tapping memories of a love that might never have been, the industry keeps running, fueled by the very illusion we can't stop believing in.